right, hello. Welcome to episode 19. I'm Sarah Flynn of Superfine Yarn Co. And this is Christine Parker of Christine Parker Co. I'm a yarn dyer and Christine is a designer. And we have a lot to share with you today. So
we're also the Yarn Hellions.
Oh my gosh, we are. We totally are.
First, we should admire Sarah's new hair.
Oh my gosh. It's all gone. I
got a haircut
it.
So cute.
Thank you. Yeah, I really, really love it. I do this every 5 to 7 years. I'm like, cut it all off. And it's so much easier in the mornings. It's just if you've never tried short hair, it's just magic. The length my hair was, I probably wore it down for this, but I wore it 100% of the time in a ponytail, headband to work. It's too much of a pain. It was never took such a pain. It took such a long time to dry and get straight and never, it was hot. Ugh.
So hot.
So I'm over it and I'm pretty happy. I was even just saying I want to go shorter next time because this is still too much. But yeah, it washes just so fast and dries and you don't have to fuss with it. So I'm very happy.
I'm jealous.
Oh, it's about time for you too.
I'm waiting. I want to grow my hair long enough to donate, and then I'm gonna probably shave my head again.
Oh my gosh, how long? I did it one time when I cut mine off. It was long enough to donate, but do you know what the length is?
It depends on which agency or whatever you go through, but I think it's usually at least 8 inches, maybe 10. I'm not sure. So I've got a ways to go. It's just now long enough to fit into a pony, which thank God, I couldn't do another summer with having hair on my neck.
Right.
So yeah, it's very cute.
Thank you. I want to hear, I was asking already, but I was waiting till we were recording to hear about the Glowforge.
Yeah. So the Glowforge, which is the laser cutter and engraver machine that we bought, so I could make awesome stitch markers for you guys, was dead on arrival. We never, so you go through the tutorial to get it started and it, we got it plugged in and it's on and whatever. But it wouldn't, we went to do a test cut and it wouldn't cut through any of the materials. They send a sample of, a couple different types of material, 2 different kinds of wood and acrylic and whatever. And they're okay, do your first test print. And it wouldn't even cut through these materials that are specifically made for the Glowforge for this test print. So we emailed customer service and we're like, hey, we haven't been able to use this. And, we had to send them pictures of the cuts that wouldn't go through and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, this isn't something that we can actually troubleshoot for you. You're going to have to send it back.
Oh, and it's so enormous too.
It's huge. Yeah. It's literally it's 2 feet by 3 feet and it weighs 80 pounds. So we haven't sent it back yet, but in the meantime, they're sending us a new one. And it should be here next week. And then we have to send the old one back, the busted one. But we're like, can you extend our warranty or whatever? We haven't even been able to try it. So that was really disappointing. But I did start to get a jump on it. I did start designing, those gauge rulers where it'll be, it's a 4-inch square.
Yeah.
I started designing one of those, and it says "fuck gauge" on it. Nice. So eventually, I will have that. That should be pretty cool when we get a working machine. So, but yeah, it's been really frustrating.
Oh, see, yeah,
I know.
That's a bummer. I thought we were gonna be.
I know. I wanted
full stitch work.
Right. I wanted to have stuff to show you guys. But so let me think. It'll be here next week. So maybe by our next episode, I'll have some stuff to share, but for sure the one after that.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't have any more problems, but who knows.
And next episode is our 20th episode.
Yeah.
And pretty much our 1 year.
It's our 1 year. Our 1 year.
Podiversary.
Pod. What did you say?
Podiversary.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can't believe both of us when we started doing the podcast, we're we'll do a couple episodes, probably I don't know, maybe we won't stick with it. Here we are a year later and 20 episodes in. It was pretty cool. So yeah, that'll be fun for the next episode. What else?
Got some health updates.
Everybody's bodies are falling apart. You go first.
All right. And I had my hearing test, and you get into like a booth and, put things on, and you click when you hear that she'll play like different tones, different ranges, and you click. And then there was some where I had to like repeat things, and and I got out of the booth and she was like, well, you were right that you have some hearing loss. So
Oh, no.
she showed me the graph, and there's like 0 to 20, and she's like, that's where you should be. And then I was like from like 25 to like 70 was like my like worst.
Oh, man.
So yeah, she was like, yeah, so it's like moderate hearing loss, and you probably need hearing aids. And so I'm trying to like look at the good parts of it, which is sometimes I really do struggle like at work to like hear people. I was saying there's like, we have plexiglass around with like one little cutout to like pass stuff through, and it's really, and of course people have masks on, so I normally will just walk around and just, we both have masks on, so I'll just say, oh, I didn't quite hear you next day. So I'm like, maybe that can all go away. And so there's one thing I have to do. I got a CAT scan. There is one other thing before I get hearing aids, which is it could be that my like some of the like bones in here aren't conducting properly, and if it is that, there is a surgery to fix it. And they like add like a synthetic part in that would help me. So the CAT scans are done, and then I have to wait till the end of the month to see this guy. So of course, so wait till then, and then if it's not fixable by surgery, then I'll have a appointment to get fitted for hearing aids.
Is it just one ear or both?
Both.
Okay.
One is worse. I think my right is worse, but I need them in both.
Yeah.
So then I was looking, there's all like sorts of types now, and they have Bluetooth ones now.
I was going to ask.
Hilarious. Like, so won't need my AirPods, but yeah, so I'm trying to look at like the good part of it. So I think it just depends on price. A lot of them still, like, you have a part that goes in here, and then there's like a clear little part, and then a part that hooks on the back of your ear, which I'd rather not get. But if, I'll see like what the price difference is. And then there's some where it just like goes like in your ear. And then of course there's different ranges, because like some people would not care about Bluetooth, and that's like a big selling point for me. So I just have to see.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, I imagine it will be a relief to be able to hear stuff again. Like, that would be so frustrating at work. Not being able to talk,
I don't realize how bad it is. I think once I get them, it'll be like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Like people who get glasses and stuff are like, oh, I didn't quite realize,
Yeah. Well, I was telling you, when my dad got hearing aids, he like put them in, and he was like, oh my God, you guys are so annoying. Like, it was better when I couldn't hear you.
And they have apps that come with them, so like you could say like, I'm at a concert or I'm at a restaurant and I just want to hear like the people here but not like the extra noise, so you can like adjust, which would be kind of nice too. So man, technology's amazing. So hoping it's not like $5,000, but we'll see. They could, every place, of course, no place will give you like a real quote. It's like, oh, it's 2,000 to 8,000. Thanks. Okay, great. Right. So and you had surgical consultations?
I had this morning. I've been up since 5 a.m. Because I had to go down to the Cleveland Clinic main campus downtown to meet with a new orthopedic surgeon about my thigh tumor. So I had to have x-rays at 7 a.m. and then at 8 I saw the surgeon. So when I was talking to the physician's assistant, she was like showing me the MRI or whatever, like my results from the MRI. And she's like, okay, here's like your thigh muscle, and here's your gluteus maximus, and like here's the tumor. And I'm like, the gluteus, that's my butt. And like you could see like as she was like scrolling through the MRI, there was like 2 halves and with like a line down the middle. I'm like, oh my God, is that my butt crack? Like it was on the MRI. Not even paying attention to the tumor or anything, just all my different parts. So but she's like, it's big. It's pretty big. So it's like a softball. It's like 13 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 6 centimeters or something. Like it's the size of a grapefruit in my thigh. So I'm so relieved though that I got to talk to the surgeon about surgery.
Yeah.
We scheduled it for November 4th.
Nice.
Yay. So that'll be, I would have liked to have done it sooner because it's just uncomfortable.
Now that
it doesn't, I mean, it's not affecting my walk or, anything like that, but it's just there and it's big and it's uncomfortable and it's just a huge lump of fat. So I'm ready to get it out.
And how's recovery time?
Not bad. Yeah. They say you can put weight on it. You can walk home. So
that's great.
That'll be good. They said I can use crutches for a couple days if I want to. And then I'm going to have a gnarly scar. Because they said, they can't see, but it's from the top of my thigh all the way through my hip and up into my pelvis. So I'm going to have an 8 or 10 inch scar. And I was like, cool. And they thought that was really funny. But yeah, it sounds like it's deep, but it's pretty routine. And recovery won't be too bad, but it could get like a flute, so they're taking out a grapefruit. And so the muscles will have to come and fill in that space. But until it fills up, it's just a big hole. So they're it can fill up with fluid and you might have to have it drained. And I'm like, that's gross, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So November 4th, I'm going to have surgery. Yeah. So we'll record a November episode a couple days before that. And then we might have to do only one episode in November. Okay. And I think we're only doing one in October too.
Because I have the second and third weekend I have shows. So we normally tape on Sundays and I'll be at shows. And then I don't have a day off during the week because I'm not working Saturdays. So we're just going to do the first one. So first Friday of October and first Friday of November. Yeah. And then December we can go back.
Yeah.
To 2. We'll see.
Yeah. So, man, I have to say though, I'm so thankful for modern medicine and it's just amazing what they can do, how they can just fix you. I mean, 200 years ago, you'd be having one of those big horns. You know what I mean? A big funnel. Yes. And
Speak up.
I mean, it's crazy. So thank you for modern technology. We appreciate you.
So I have my advent calendar. It is on pre-order in my shop now, so please go and order it. It will be up at least, I'd say, a month. I'm going to keep it up and working on, with Canopy Press, who's my printer, working on I really want one of the punch out, we can punch out the days instead of having them individually wrapped. So that's in the works. And if you go to my Instagram, you can see the illustration that Quill Colot did for me. And they do all of my little bears and illustrations. So I'm lucky to have another one for this year. And
will it be 24 mini skeins again?
24 minis.
Nice.
And then, So.
Do you have have you planned out, is it going to be a fade or are you going to do special colors?
I'm actually going to try and just as I talk about it more, maybe put up some, instead of last year, I did a lot of more brights. I kind of want to make something that if you did a shawl, it would, blend together instead of being here's I did 5 greens and 5 blues, and I kind of want something that maybe is a little more not completely muted, but so I thinking I might put up a little palette that would be, because sometimes people want to know, is it going to be super bright, is it going to be, so I'm just going to work on that. Maybe post a few more things about what I'm looking at,
little sneaky peeks.
So
that's exciting. I am leaving Etsy because they suck and I'm fed up with them. And they're bananas fees. And they're implementing all these stupid new policies that it's to benefit the buyer, which is good. Okay. But they screw the seller at the same time. So things sellers are required to, respond to messages within 24 hours. Yes. I have weekends and what if I go on vacation? And
And then somebody was even saying, I don't know if it was you or somebody was saying, okay, we have a conversation with like a buyer, and the buyer might say, okay, thanks. That still counts as something you have to reply to.
You're kidding.
So she's like, do I have to say the last word every time? Like, it's just not.
So,
very well.
yeah. And they have now where every item, every purchase over $10 must be shipped with tracking. No.
Yeah.
Because that means, like, if you guys buy 2 stickers, which are flat, and I mail to you in an envelope with a stamp on it, if you buy 2 of those, I have to then charge, like, $4 for shipping. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not, that's crazy. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to want to buy like a $5 sticker, a $9 sticker with shipping. Like, that's Etsy. If I wanted to be told how to run my business, I would have just stayed where, somebody was my boss and they could tell me how to do my job. But I'm not. The whole reason I left, my 9 to 5 was so I could run my business how I want to run my business. And that means I'm sending stickers with stamps on them.
And you're joining Shopify.
And I'm joining Shopify, which I've started building my site. I wish I had money right now, like the funds to hire somebody to do it and like make it beautiful. Later. Yeah. It's not too bad.
It's really not.
I'm scared about the sales tax stuff though, because the nice thing about Etsy is that they collect and remit sales tax on behalf of the seller, because honestly, otherwise it wouldn't get done. I mean, really. Yeah. So that's nice. I don't even ever have to think about that. But now I have to figure out, where do I need to have tax? What are the tax rates? Do I have, So that doesn't sound that fun. But if that was the only thing that was keeping me on Etsy, like that's not worth it. So I will have much greater flexibility with a Shopify site. I'll be able to have all my, because like right now I have my patterns are on Ravelry. My merch is on Etsy, and then I have like freebie stuff on my website. And so everything's just spread out all over the place. Yeah, it'll be nice to have everything all in the same place. So greater convenience for you guys. You can find what you're looking for. And I won't have to be mad all the time.
I have a show in September. So if anyone is near Dayton or Yellow Springs, it's going to be at Young's Jersey Dairy. The Wool Gathering, which will be my first time at the Wool Gathering. Last year was supposed to be my first time. So I got a little Airbnb in Yellow Springs, which I'll spend like 2 hours at before I conk out at night. But it's a really cute little house. And that's September 18th and 19th, Saturday, Sunday. So I've heard it's a really good show, and a lot of my fellow dyers will be there.
Fun.
Taking my brother.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So.
Ooh, the Yarn Discovery Tour. Starts this month.
Which we've been talking about
for a
while.
Yeah, we have been. So Sarah did the exclusive colorway for our friends at Around the Table Yarns, our local yarn shop in Shaker Heights. Who, if you're in Cleveland, you should go visit them because they're awesome. And finally, I can show you the pattern that I designed. Yay! So, this is the Cleveland Shale Shawl. Can we
make sure we get it in there?
It's knit with 2 skeins of Sarah's DK weight, the MCN DK yarn in the special colorway. Does the colorway have a name?
No, it's just the Yarn Discovery Tour, like Around the Table for 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it actually might, and now I'm blanking on it. It's like electric something. Oh man, we'll put it down below. They asked me to put it on, and I did like last minute make the right label, so I'll put it down below.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But I want to show the little end. Look how nice. This end scallops, and that end like has a little tail.
It's a rectangular shawl, but the way this lace stitch goes, it's a play on the old Shale stitch. So if you've ever done that, it makes this like really cool undulating like wavy pattern. And all it is yarn overs and knit 2 togethers and slip knits. And it makes but I blew the pattern up really big. So it's like the 3 times the size of what old Shale Usually is. So it makes this like really cool arrow shape in a way. But it's just knit
and it's
flat.
lacy, but it's not lace weight.
Right. Yeah. So you get, it's got the eyelets in it. Oh yeah, I love this yarn. So this pattern will be available at Around the Table Yarns during the month of September. I believe if you make a purchase for the Yarn Discovery Tour, you get it free. And then in October, the pattern will revert to me, and I'll have it on my site, and on Ravelry, it'll just be a free pattern.
It officially starts Tuesday, September 7th, and concludes Sunday, September 26th. You can purchase a $6 passport at any participating shop, and you receive a free Yarn Discovery Tour souvenir. And the passports, you can actually buy the passports ahead of time starting August 31st. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think they'll have them online too. They're having a virtual tour this year, so you can shop the participating shops' websites online, and I believe you get all the same benefits, and you get entered into the drawings and whatever. And
it's nice to have you been on the site that you can scroll through and see all the patterns for each shop too.
Oh.
So yeah, if you haven't seen, it's really nice. So it'll show like Around the Table and the 2 patterns they have.
Cool.
Because they each have a knit and a crochet pattern.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't see that. I'll have to look at that, and we'll put the link below for the Yarn Discovery Tour.
So go get the yarn and the shawl pattern. And I'm gonna cast mine on pretty soon.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It's so fast. I take forever to knit stuff, and this one I didn't.
Well, you designed it so fast.
I did, but because it's big, like bigger yarn on size. I think I called for size 9 needles. It's, you cast on like here, and it just knits like a scarf. It's so fast. I knit mine in less than a week, and I take forever to make stuff. So yeah, it was really, really fun to make. And this yarn was just a blast. I love the color. I got the sheep sack.
Good.
It took me, I think I don't remember which episode it was, but I showed you I was like trying to draw a sheep, and it was really ugly. So I gave up, and I found oh
my gosh.
This is a antique illustration.
Love it.
That I like tweaked, I'm like turned it into a vector and cleaned it up and whatever. So
love it.
Put it with a font, and now this is our sheep sack, and it's got our Yarn Hellions logo on the back, or on, I guess, I don't know, front, back,
whatever.
So yeah, when we have some fun stuff, we can put it in here
sheep sack.
And pull it out of the sheep sack.
Oh my gosh! Send us some mail.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the sheep sack. I would like to eventually sell these.
I was just going to say,
yeah. Yeah, and like we can do t-shirts and stuff too. We just have to figure out the logistics of, whose site is it going to be on? How are we going to split the funds? Right. Do we need a shared PayPal account? That kind of thing. So then, yeah, once
it's a nice like size too. Normally tote bags are kind of
I have this is the large size tote bag through the print on demand company that I use. There's a smaller one that I have available in my shop with like, the rude the rainbow yarn that says "fuck off, I'm knitting," and I don't know. I have my designs on a bunch of these, but it's a little bit smaller. It would be like a normal tote bag size, but I thought,
I like the big.
Let's get the big one.
Nice. We have a special topic, which is our favorite historical novels, which was so hard to narrow down. And luckily I saw like you putting some on there, so I was like, oh, then I'll have to do this. And we could always do this again, but it was really hard to narrow it down.
This is definitely a topic we're going to have to do again, because how do you pick? I think we both stuck to 3. We'll tell you about 3 awesome historical romance novels, but like there's so many. It was hard to narrow it down.
And then I could really tell, like, going back through, like, the ones that stuck with me. Like, if I remembered, like, out of mine, there was, like, if it's, like, 10 books, but I remember, like, the one sister story. Or I remember, like, then I'm like, okay, this deserves to go on the list. And I just picked one because I read them this week, and they're both so good. Mm-hmm. I had to put them on, so. Oh, my gosh.
Well,
Let me pull up my pictures.
Okay. You go ahead and start.
Okay. So, I read this last week, and then I liked it so much. I actually started the sister-in-law's story on audio while I was finishing this because I like this. The sister-in-law was like so funny, and I just I needed a new audiobook. So this is on my list. So Tempest, I've always wanted to read Beverly Jenkins. There's Captive is one of hers. So there was definitely like a clench like cover, and I never read it, and Tempest was available, and it is so good. So he is in the Montana Territory. This is a little bit I should know around the years, but I think a little post-Civil War. Montana Territory. He is a doctor. His wife died in childbirth, and he has a young daughter, and he sends away. There's not that many women in the territory at this time, so he sends away for a mail order bride. So Reagan is the woman who answers his letter, and they correspond for a little while, and she decides to come out and meet him. And she's from the Arizona Territory and really well educated. She went to Oberlin, which I thought was interesting.
Oh,
in the
cool.
book. Yeah, so there's a little bit of history thrown in, and so she gets on a stagecoach and is traveling, and the stagecoach gets attacked. And since she grew up in Arizona, she's good with guns, she's good with horses. So she ends up shooting at, I think there was 3 guys who attacked the stagecoach. She leans out, shoots them. And then after a while, they look out again, and they see they've come back with like more guys.
Oh no.
So the guy's like, you got to start shooting again. So she leans out, starts picking them off. They pull up. It was the sheriff and his posse. Uh-oh. They had come back around, rounded up these guys. So she saw some of the same guys, to arrest them. And then we're trying to catch up with them to say, we've got these guys. So she shot the doctor who was out with the posse. She shot him in the shoulder. So that's how they get introduced, which is all like right in the beginning.
Yeah.
But such a good premise. So of course everyone in town gives him the hardest time when they get back.
Yeah.
Oh, your new bride, she shot you, like all of it.
That is the best meet cute.
It's just like, so love the tough women, love the, she's not taking, she's not a, traditional, quiet, demure female. And at first he kind of doesn't like that and thinks he's just gonna say no to it and it's just not gonna work. And of course, like, she's great with the daughter's been taken care of by this real stern aunt who's horrible. Aww. And she's like not happy and kind of in her little shell, and so Reagan like brings her out.
Aww.
So anyway, I'm just babbling, but it's amazing. And then her when she gets to town, she really loves the doctor's sister, and she's a rancher and they have a lot in common. And so I went, and I'm almost done with that, which is called Wild Rain, and the sister is called Spring, sister-in-law. So anyway, can't say enough.
I didn't know the plot of that. That's so cute. I want to read that.
I mean, come on.
I read, I had Beverly Jenkins on my list too. I selected Topaz, and I have 2 covers because I couldn't decide which one I liked better.
I haven't seen that one.
So this Topaz, and here's the other cover.
First one.
Yeah, I know. I love a good clinch cover. So this one is set in the Wild West also, and the premise is that Kate, who's the heroine, she is a newspaper reporter, and she's investigating this like railroad stock swindler or whatever, and the hero Dixon is hired by, he's a U.S. Marshal, and he's hired by her father to like protect her while she's out. He's like her bodyguard. So they're like, they get stuck together. One of the tropes of romance is like forced proximity, where like, they're forced together by outside circumstances. So the outside circumstance is her dad. He hires the marshal to be her bodyguard. And of course, like, she's headstrong, and he's, not going to take any nonsense from her, and whatever, they fall in love, and it's sexy and wonderful. So I want to read you part of the back cover blurb because it's really good. Despite the warm, simmering fire, Dix's bronzed, muscled embrace ignites. She is determined to hold on to her independence, challenging him at every turn. Yet even as their battle of wills intensifies, the heat of their passion blazes with unmatched fury, a wildfire of love that can only be answered in the sweet ecstasy of surrender.
So good.
If that doesn't grab you, why?
Please.
What are you doing? I actually met the author. I met Beverly Jenkins a couple years ago at Bowling Green University. They have a pop culture library. And the pop culture library hosted like a seminar on romance novels. And this was just when I was starting to like become like entering into my editing career, which didn't last very long, but that's a whole nother story. But I was like, oh, this is an awesome, A, that's fascinating. And B, like what a great networking opportunity. I wanted to work with romance authors. And so I went to this seminar and oh my God, it was just like 2 days of the most fascinating presentations and classes, all on romance. I didn't get to take the tour, but they have in the pop culture library, they have like a romance, you know, like a big display, and there is like a museum display and whatever. You can go and see like the history of all their cool covers and whatever. So, but I met Beverly Jenkins. She was the like keynote speaker at that event, and she's just the most delightful human. She's really like just a funny, down to earth, very real. Like she's not going to take any of your bullshit author. And, you know, she's so cool too, because she's one of the first Black women to write romance, but that's not true. Black women have been writing romance as long as white women have been writing romance. She's just one of the first to be like recognized and popular and whatever, but for good reason, because she's awesome. Her books are really great, and I'm so excited to read that one. So yeah, did you have 2 by her that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so the one that I shared was Tempest, and that's Regan, where she is the mail order bride. Mm-hmm. And in that one, she meets the doctor's sister who owns her own ranch. She had kind of like a tough upbringing. The doctor had gone away to medical school at Howard, and she was left with her grandfather because their parents had passed away. Her and her grandfather disagreed about a lot of things. She kind of ran away. So she owns her own ranch and she raises horses. And she and Regan become friends. So then hers is a different series, which is her story is Wild Rain. Oh. So Regan is the Old West series. Spring is part of the Women Who Dare series. So I like that they intertwine. Yeah. And it's funny, my next one is also 2 series by the same author that intertwine too. So,
oh, interesting. Okay, I've written a book. I wrote a romance novel, okay? You can't read it because it's not been published. It's never been edited. It's really, really rough. But like, it's because I when I was editing, I wanted to be like, okay, I need to understand the process that these writers are going through. I'm going to write a book just so I can, you know, understand. And it's really hard. I wrote one book with one set of characters in one setting, and I had the hardest time keeping everything straight.
They must have spreadsheets or like family trees or something. Oh my gosh,
yeah. It just blows my mind how they managed to, like, even throughout a series, but no less 2 series that they're, you know, intertwining together. That's amazing.
Well, and yeah, if viewers aren't romance readers, that's a common thing, that there's a series and then you meet someone like each series, and then you kind of like the characters that are kind of like ancillary characters will be in the next one, so it's kind of fun. I
wish more like genres did that. Like, does that happen in fantasy much?
I mean, very rarely. For fantasy, it's mostly like the same characters. Yeah, they don't flip perspectives, which it's not as fun.
Yeah.
My next one, Christi Caldwell, she was kind of new to me when I started reading her a few years ago, and I was just blown away. And it was funny, I couldn't remember which series this was, and I had to look up the summary because I'm in my mind, and what like stuck with me a few years past is it's this family who grew up, and actually like more of like a found family. They grew up on the streets of London and ended up running a gaming hell together. So there's like the one brother who runs it. There's another one who like works the games on the floor. There's another sister who does this. So there's a few of them who are related, but mostly they just like found each other and are so close because they grew up on the streets. And in my mind, I've like, I need to find the one. There's one of the sisters as an accountant for the gaming hell, and her story is just so sweet, and I just loved it. And this is it. It's called The Rogue's Wager.
That's a good cover.
And I like that they're laying down. I never see like the laying down one. So it is all of them. And it's crazy. It keeps going back to a different page. So this is part of the Wicked Wallflowers and Sinful Brides series, which is crazy that there's 2. So there's some in each series. And I just can't say enough about it. It's just they're kind of a little bit trying to get away from their past, and they're in a place in society where they're mingling with like the Talon and the elite, but they're not, because they came from such like a tough background. So there's always like a class issue with who they fall in love with, or, you know, things like that. So it's really interesting. And they kind of try to, I know one of the sisters, her story, they kind of bring kids off the street. Now that they're adults, they try and like prevent kids from having the same experience they have. So they like pull them in and try to like protect them. So super great series, both of them.
That sounds fun. When I saw that in your notes, and I was like, I swear I've read the Wicked part, at least part of the Wicked Wallflower series, but I have not. I didn't.
And when I was looking for it, I was looking for, you know, things set in gaming hells, and there's a lot of romance. Gaming hells. So the accountant helped me find it, because that was like
that's unique. Pretty specific. Yeah. I can't decide which one I want to do next. Have you read either of my others?
Both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you about Lord of Scoundrels, because I have more. I'll use up some of my energy. This is probably my favorite romance of all time ever. And I have 2 covers for you, because I love this book so much. I bought both. It's Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase.
Can't decide.
I think I like this one better. I think this is the original. It's from 1995. This is the original. It's an Avon romantic treasure series. So this is I don't know, one of the newer. This looks like an early 2000s cover. But anyway, it's by Loretta Chase. If you liked Bridgerton or The Duke and I by Julia Quinn, you would like these, except that this one is way better than The Duke and I. So I just love this book so much. And if you've never read a romance novel ever in your whole life, like, read Lord of Scoundrels. It's a really good like gateway romance, because it's freaking hysterical. The characters are really well written. They're well rounded. They're interesting. They're funny. They're super hot. They have like really good chemistry. They have great really like witty banter, funny. God, they're so funny. The premise is, so Jessica is the heroine. She's like a strong-willed blue stocking, and her stupid, dim-witted brother gets mixed up with the Marquess of Dane, Sebastian, who is like this emotionally damaged Raquel, who is bent on destroying her brother and corrupting him and whatever. So she tries to save her brother from the Marquess's clutches and, you know, keep him from being depraved and whatever. And I don't remember what else happens, but she shoots him and shenanigans ensue, and it's just so good. I love Sebastian so much. He's maybe my favorite ever romance hero.
And is it part of a series?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I actually don't think it is.
It might not be.
This one is old enough that it was like, before like the different series I think became popular.
Really
I think
became
that's a pretty recent trend in romance is like the series.
I'm disappointed in these covers, but this was kind of post Clinch being like cool. So I don't even know. It's probably 2000s, but like, come on, they're all kind of like
boring.
this.
Just snore.
But the series is amazing. Lisa Kleypas. This is the Hathaways series, and I can't even say enough about this. They are a family who come into an unexpected inheritance. So they were like, I think, born pretty well, but just didn't have money. So now have money kind of thrown into society, whereas there's a few sisters and a brother. And the sisters have a hard time kind of adjusting. They're from where they kind of had more freedom as not being like at like the top of society. Now they're very restricted. They're only expected to marry. They're not expected to be educated, things like that. So they're almost like old enough where it's pretty difficult. It's a really difficult transition. So they're kind of unique in a way. So I think one is more like a blue stocking. And then the younger sister is really into animals. So one of the best things that runs through all of them is she like keeps all sorts of animals. So there's like a mischievous ferret that is through like all of the books. So the older sister's book is a little bit later, and she falls in love with like a hotel manager, and the ferret like wreaks havoc at the hotel. It's just fantastic. Really like interesting. Like even now, like I can remember like the brother story, the sister story, and they really stand out, and they're all, sometimes you're like, okay, there's one that's like the best. These are all pretty good.
Aww.
Yeah. So
I'm going to read about the ferret.
I know.
There's, Eloisa James has a series, the Wilde to Wed series. In the book, the first book, which I can't remember what it's called. It doesn't matter. Okay. There's a skunk. A pet skunk. One of the, like the, very fine ladies has a pet skunk, and they name it Sweet Pea. And Sweet Pea gets into all kinds of trouble. But same thing, like this little skunk is like featured in a bunch of the later books. This is really cute. This is my favorite part of that story. All right. So my last one is the Spindle Cove series by Tessa Dare. So good. I love Tessa Dare. So, but I'm going to just tell you about the first book in the series, which is A Night to Surrender. So the series is, it's like this little coastal town called Spindle Cove, and it's sort of like a haven for misfit girls and young women. They come there, and there are not many men around, and so they're like free to be their misfit selves. And this first book is about Susanna, who is like I don't know if he's like the mayor or like, he's sort of like the town patriarch. She's his daughter. And so she like sort of runs the town under, like on behalf of him. He's like a scientist or whatever, and he just wants to do his experiments while she's like running the show. So she's set up this town to like welcome in young ladies, and they have like shooting lessons, and they go bathing at the beach, and they do sort of unconventional things together. So she's got her town set up as like a little feminist utopia. But then Bram, who's the Earl of something or other, Earl of Bramwell maybe, he shows up because he was injured in the war, and he's gotten orders to like train a militia, turn this, all the men in this town into a militia. And she's like, oh, hell no, you're not like gonna wreck my feminist utopia with your stupid toxic masculinity or whatever. And so she's like trying to foil all his plans while he's, he like is psychologically damaged because he was, because toxic masculinity he needs to prove himself. So they're butting heads, and, spoiler alert, they end up falling in love and getting together and live happily ever after. But it's pretty fun. And then the rest of the series is like different young ladies in Can you hear that tapping?
I can.
That's my cat trying to escape the bedroom that I trapped her in. I lost my train of thought. Oh, the series just follows the young ladies in the story, around the town. And
I think it's another one. There's not a bad one in that series. They're all really good.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
I actually read the last book in the series first, which I don't often do. But the last one's my favorite because it's about one of the youngest sisters. And she gets with a much older gentleman, which that's one of my favorite tropes is the age difference tropes. So, there's
Georgette Hare one that we both like.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to talk about Georgette Hare, and then I was like, you talk about Georgette Hare all the time. Talk about something else. There's another in the Spindle Cove series, which they call Spinster Cove, which I think is hilarious. One of the books is about, the nerdy sister who is like real heavy into archaeology. And so she's like always going and digging in caves and like whatever. And that one's a really good book too. I think that was my second favorite. So, but they're all good. Tessa Dare's awesome. She has a bunch of other series that are also excellent. I've never read a book of hers that I didn't like.
And the problem with this is I have like a TBR of historical romances that I've heard are good that I haven't read that are like 300 plus. So definitely I still need more. So tell me what I'm missing in the comments.
For sure.
They're always like good to come back to or find a new author. And, so fun.
You were talking about, I'm going to save it, but you were talking about clinch covers and how we love a good clinch cover. I collect vintage romance novels just for the covers, and I have a bunch in my office, but I'll save them for next time because some of them are really, really ridiculous. Well, that's books.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about yarn?
I've got yarn.
You have yarn.
I do. So the timing turned out just right where I am shipping out the September colors for yarn shops today. So I just snuck over here first and can show you. The most local to here are Around the Table Yarns and then 614 Knit Studio in Columbus. So they will have these colors, and then I also send out a smaller box, which is just one color. But for the bigger box, I have 4 colors. So I always do 4 different, the big box is 24 skeins, 6 of 4 different colors. That makes sense. So I have,
love that
I talked about this last time. I got a new worsted base, which I'm calling Walton Worsted. And yeah, it's kind of like a nice fall color. So I don't name these. I just name these with the month. So it's September 2021. And I'm going to hold it up kind of close so you can see. Like,
so many, like shades of, there's olive and gold and like peacock turquoise, a little bit of beige.
Thank you, because sometimes it is hard to say all the
like
colors.
Like blue, there's a little bit of brown.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think good for like a fall sweater, a shawl, anything. So I try and like mix up the colors in each box. So then bulky has been out of stock, so it's back in stock. And this is the bulky color for September. So yeah, really
Jewel
deep,
tones.
like definitely like reds, magentas, purples. And then
I still haven't knit anything with that base, and I really need to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now that it's like, it's starting to, well, it's not starting to cool off yet. It's still hot as hell, but it will be cooling off,
right?
Presumably.
The superwash sock, the Entice sock, for this month is kind of just like a multi-purple.
Yeah, it's like multi-tonal purple and fuchsia and There's even some like rose pink in there.
So that one. And then the Surrey alpaca, this is lace weight. And this is kind of teals, turquoise. There's some real like rosy peachy kind of in there. And then there's some speckles that are, it was kind of like a orangey, it's almost like I don't know, there's a little bit of pink and then a little bit that's kind of, I don't even know what to call it. Like
almost like coral maybe.
Yeah. So there's that one. So
can I touch that one?
You
I
can.
don't think that I have ever touched this one.
So take this up and squish it.
Oh, it's really soft.
So, and then some people, who haven't knit with lace weight always ask what to do with it, and you can just hold it along with any. You can hold it along with the bulky, whatever weight you like to knit with. Just hold it along with it, and it just gives it an extra fuzzy glow. It's really, really fun to knit with. And then some people, say, well, I've never knit with two, and is it really hard, or do they like split, and I've never had trouble knitting with two held together. So those will be at yarn shops. So I've already got to start planning. It's so funny. It comes up so quick. You think I've got a whole month, and then I'll be like, oh, I need to start dyeing for October. But
I have the September pin and sticker. No one has seen these yet because I haven't posted them on Patreon or anything. So this month we did a shooting star, and it says "ugh" on it. So that's a sticker, and then the pin. So those are in my Patreon Flare Club for September. So anytime if you're a member in September or you sign up in September, this is the pin that you will get, the pin or the sticker, and there's a bunch of different tiers. And then there's, you get other stuff like wallpapers and sneak peeks and discounts, things like that. I thought these turned out really good. I used a different sticker manufacturer than I have in the past because they were cheaper, and the quality is like way better. I was able to get like 125 stickers for the same price as I was getting for 50 stickers from this other company. And the quality's better. Yeah. So I'll probably use that. And they're local. They're from Medina.
Great.
Yeah. So I'll probably use them in the future.
That's awesome.
Anything else? Oh, we have to talk about our projects.
Whoops.
Do you have your bear?
I do. And he doesn't have any more appendages, but he does have a sweater. Oh my gosh. So I found an extra skein from my sweater that I made myself. So we're twinsies.
Yay.
So I could take it off, but it's just kind of a big. So I I added one on, but I think it's too small. I didn't have 10 DPN, so I did 9s. I think it's kind of small, so I need to do his arm and then see if it fits in. But it's so cute. Like, look at this. His little neck is as big as his waist, but it was really fun to make. So
I just love that colorway.
I know there's a lot hanging off because I haven't tucked in ends yet, but he's got his little armholes that I left for. But
it's just a tube with like two little little
stubby holes. So he still has his one ear, but he's coming along. So it's funny. I just don't when I get home at night, I don't have the brain power to look at and it really isn't that bad. You just I have these pearl bumps, and then you go pick them up with DPNs, and then you do it, and then a Kitchener across the top. But I'm please this afternoon I will do some appendages, but
fiddly knitting. I know. Which you need brain power to remember what your hands are doing. If you're just knitting a shawl all the way across and it's just garter stitch or whatever, your little hands can just go. But yeah, thinking, ooh,
oh, what is this? It's a Formosa shawl.
That's pretty.
So yeah, let me get up close. So this is
full of holes.
I know, it's totally full of holes. The colorway Aster and the Entice sock, superwash sock, and it's just so cute so far. My rows are starting to get longer. But
that's
it's
my pattern, by the way.
Yes,
if you're new here,
if you were on last week. But yeah, the holes are so cute. I can't wait to black it and get them super big. But so.
How are you finding the knitting?
I like it a lot.
Okay,
I like
cool.
that it's a 8, I have the little chart and it's 8-row repeat. And then there's only 2 rows where you have to pay any attention.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thanks for not being like, yeah, it sucks. I hate it. It's really hard.
Don't ever knit it.
And you...
I've got actually... Here, wait. Oh,
one more?
I cast on 2 more. Because I have a sneaky one. I used my...
oh my God.
fiber seed DK that I got at the show in Pittsburgh, Neon Lights, and I cast on a DK sock. And look, it's so cute. I'm gonna get this up really close.
Look at the speckles.
I mean,
that's so fun.
I'm in love. And then I got all these minis, but I'm like, if it's not self-striping, I don't really need to do minis because it's not gonna like mess up. You know what I mean? Like it would be cute, but it's just extra work. So I'm gonna do my first one without any colored.
The toe and the heel.
Yeah, and then
nice.
see how it goes. It's just less ends to weave in. So I'm not sure how tall they're going to be, but even if they're like a little more than shorties, it'll still be pretty cute.
They'll be really cozy too because they're that heavier weight.
Yeah. It's like turning out to be like a nice little... I was trying it on yesterday. I was like right at the tip of my toes. It's a little too soon to try
toe
on,
warmer.
Yeah, so cute. So
I'm
loving that. And then not like tons of progress, but the Rose Apothecary by Soft Sweater. I got a little more on. I gotta see which is this is the right side.
And this you're using held double this weight.
It's not held double, it's DK weight just itself.
Oh, okay.
And then you're doing 2 color and then switching rows.
Got it.
But oh my gosh, it's so fluffy.
Oh man.
I know. I'm like, I cannot wait to wear this. It's going to
That's going to be really cozy. Who's the yarn by?
Fangirl Fiber.
That's right.
Just going to see if I have the tag in here. But I don't. But as I work on it, I'll tag her.
Super cute.
So, oh my gosh. I'm actually, having so much fun having different projects to juggle.
Yeah, I mean, we all know I'm a juggler.
I want to see this sweater.
So this is the where am I? This is the beauty school sweater.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, can you tell? So it's like the front shoulders and part of the like neckline. So it'll, once it uncurls, because it's all stockinette. And I just got to the part where I'm starting to shape the armholes. Nice. Can you see how that's sort of like, yeah. So it's on, I think these are size 3 needles. Yeah. So it's taken a while, but once like the beginning of the sweater is fiddly as fuck. Like within the first 8 rows, you've cast on, you've bound off, you've picked up stitches, you've done short rows, you've cast on stitches at the beginning and the end of the row. Like, and it's like the first couple inches or the first inch where you're just doing the neckline and the shoulders. But then once you like join the 2 pieces, then it's just like it's just stockinette. Yeah. So this it's pretty simple, and even at the armholes are just increases on the edges. So
cute.
Yeah.
The Ken yarn.
Yeah, this is Ken yarn. The colorway is Ally AF. Was the June his Pride colorway.
That's gonna be adorable.
I can't wait to wear it. I don't really know. I'm like, I'm gonna knit a cropped sweater because it's gonna be so cute and it's not gonna take very long. But then I don't really know what to wear it with. So, I mean, I think I'll just have to start wearing dresses more often, just alone in my house. I don't go anywhere. And my little crop sweater. The end. Are we done?
I think we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us. I feel so freaking lucky that like we can do this together and share with you guys. And I think we're up to like over 400 subscribers on YouTube, which is bananas. Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for subscribing and for following us on Instagram and TikTok. And man, we really appreciate you. So leave a comment. Tell us what historical romance novels we need to be reading. What's your fave? And we will see you in 2 weeks. Our next episode is, oh shit, I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's our anniversary episode on the 17th of September, Friday the 17th. So we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.